What is astrology? There are numerous forms of astrology scams.
साल 2023 आपका कैसा होने वाला है?
एस्ट्रोलॉजी को मैथमेटिक्स का जेम कहा जाता है।
पूजा पाठ करते रहते हैं, अपने गुरुओं की अर्चना करते हैं।
Indian astrology app AstroTalk is making 70 lakhs a day. Even Ranbir Kapoor recommends it. AstroTalk has the money to hire Bollywood stars because they are minting money. Just look at this live stream where 40,000 viewers are online listening to this astrologer. Viewers can pay to talk to this person. There are hundreds of these astrologers on AstroTalk who make a decent living telling people about Rashis, Nakshatras and Kundlis. And if you want to become like them, there's actually a career path. There are actual colleges giving out degree certificates for a BA in astrology. Has the country gone crazy? Or have I? Astrology is one of those things that no matter how much data and evidence you put out saying that it's fake, that many new people go and spend money on apps like these. I've said this before. Consumer side of India mostly spends on hope. Even genuinely good apps they use in the mindset of hope. For example, Zerodha's main bread and butter doesn't come from casual traders like you and me. It comes from compulsive traders, most of whom lose money hoping to get rich overnight by trading. Hope is powerful. In the venture capital world, venture capitalists even have a name for the concept. It's called hopium. That's hope plus opium, which means that hope is a drug and astrology is the source of this mystical drug that all Indians want. Lots of other creators have made videos about this, but we'll give you our own take. Firstly, before you all pick up your swords and say this is against India, remember that Indian astrology in the current form is not actually Indian. Sorry to burst your bubble, but Indian astrology actually descends from Greek astrology. So we don't really have to feel patriotic toward it. Secondly, astrology is often confused with astronomy, but they're two completely different things. Astronomy is the science of stars, while astrology is a cult. Astronomy is the science that studies celestial objects, their position and phenomena. It uses mathematics and physics in order to explain their origin and evolution. Many astronomers through history, like Galileo, called themselves astrologers because at that time there was no separation between the two fields. It's only after people started verifying beliefs through this scientific method that we found out that astrology is not really a science, it's a pseudoscience. Meaning it uses astronomy, the science, to seem legitimate, but its predictions and horoscopes are illogical, irrational, and sorry to say, but idiotic. To understand Indian astrology, we first need to understand Greek astrology because that's where it all started. This is how Greek astrology works. Your horoscope is decided on three things. First one is your date of birth. Secondly, the position of the sun or perceived position of the sun, because as you and I know, the sun's position changes only from the perspective of the earth. The earth's axis is tilted at an angle of about 23.5 degrees. This tilt causes the sun to appear to move north and south in the sky over the course of a year. Third, the constellations. Constellation is a group of stars that look like a pattern or a shape in the night sky. These constellations of stars exist, but their shapes and names are completely made up, imaginary and arbitrary. In fact, look at these dots. Does it look like anything? Well, for some people, this looks like a lion, and that's why they call it the constellation Leo. It could have easily been called a dog or a cat. Now, putting all these together, if you're born during the period of October 24th to November 24th, the sun appears to be in the constellation of Scorpio, and that's how you get your zodiac sign of Scorpio. Congratulations! So basically, you did some pattern matching. You said this looks like this, you were born this time, therefore you are this. Coincidentally, Vedic or Indian astrology has the same 12 divisions like zodiac signs in the form of Rashis, but the birth dates vary. For example, Leo is called Simha Rashi, Pisces is called Meena Rashi, but that doesn't mean if you're a Leo in Greek astrology, you'll be a Simha Rashi in Indian astrology. This difference in dates is because the Indian system uses a different point of reference to where the sun and moon are. Indian astrology has one more twist to its formula, the nakshatras. If zodiac sign and rashis were based on the position of the sun with respect to constellation, nakshatras are based on the position of the moon among the stars. There are 27 nakshatras in Vedic astrology, and each one covers a specific segment on the path of the moon around the earth. Once you know the position of the moon, at the time of your birth, you can identify the corresponding nakshatra. Don't break your head about how to calculate the sun and moon positions to find your Rashi. There are hundreds of websites and algorithms that will give you this content for free. Now look, up till now, everything we covered about astrology is based in reality. The sun or moon are actually there. They're actually in those positions. That part is scientifically true. Does that mean that the position of Mercury can affect your career? Is your nakshatra responsible for your Tinder match? Is astrology actually true? Absolutely not. Astrology has been rejected by the scientific community since the very beginning because it has zero proof. The main reason astrology has stayed relevant in society is very simple. People love talking about themselves and their energy. Astrology makes it easy. It makes it easy to predict hard things. College students especially have become captivated by the farce of astrology. For example, the movement of the moon through gravity does impact the movement of the seas and tides. But to go on a stretch and say that it impacts you is very different. The fundamental force is gravity. Even astrologers will tell you that the fundamental force affecting you is gravity. And let me tell you why it doesn't impact you, even if you are 70% water. It's simply because you are too small. Sir Isaac Newton's universal law of gravitation, which is F equal to gmm by r square, is an equation representing the attractive force of two masses separated by a distance r. If m1 is the mass of the first object and m2 is the mass of the second object, in this formula, m1 and m2 are the masses of the two objects. If you choose all the water on Earth as m1 and the moon as m2, there is significant force exerted. Scientists calculate that the total mass of the oceans on Earth is 1.35 into 10 to the power of 18 metric tons. Therefore, that F value becomes meaningful and there is actual pull. But if you take M1 as the moon and M2 as your body, with the weight of 60 kgs or 70 kgs or whatever, it is negligible. And considering that most of us are the same weight, have similar water content and live in the same area, why are our lives so different? I'm sure the planets don't affect us differently. And why is it related to birth timing, which is not even a part of the GMM by R square formula and basically has nothing to do with gravity? Now let's assume there is some effect. How do you know that that effect is going to affect your life? How does it affect your relationships, your mood, your health? For example, check out this research paper on twins who were born at the exact same time. After running research for many decades, they figured out that the lives of twins can be completely different even though all other conditions could be exactly the same. They could be born in the same bracket, have the same planets in the same position, and still have wildly different lives. Astrology readings are often generalized and vague, making them applicable to a wide range of people. This is known as the Barnum effect, where people tend to believe statements that are true for almost everyone as if they were tailored specifically for them. For example, if I tell you a very important person will talk to you today, then you could have anybody in your life WhatsApp you and you can be like, the astrology thing was talking about this. The Barnum effect, which is also known as the Forer effect, is a psychological phenomenon. This effect occurs when people are presented with statements that are true for almost everyone, but they still interpret them as being specific and accurate for their own situation. For example, this kid called Abhigya Anand allegedly predicted the 2020 pandemic. But if you actually watch that video, all he says is that it will be a dangerous year, and he even gets most of his predictions wrong. But most people in the comments are deaf and hail him as a god. Because if I told you 2023 is going to be bad, it could be true because of AI. But if I don't say AI, if I just say this year is going to be a bad year and say some vague statements that could apply in multiple different situations, then well, I'm actually scamming you. When people read their own horoscopes, they may interpret it as being specifically about them, even though the same horoscope could apply to many other people as well. This is because of confirmation bias. People tend to look for confirmation about their beliefs and desires, and they may see connections between their general statements and their own experience. The Barnum effect has been observed in various places, including personality assessments, fortune telling, and psychological therapies even. Now, people might criticize us for making this video, saying, why are you guys hurting people's beliefs? True or false, logical or illogical? Let people believe and gain a sense of comfort from astrology. What's the harm? The harm is today we have let these clowns go on television to predict cricket matches which they all got wrong. In fact, watch this video.
शनि और सूर्य का दिन है, तो सूर्य और शनि आपस में शत्रु हैं, और बृहस्पति हमारा 3 अंक है बृहस्पति का, तो बृहस्पति और सूर्य आपस में मित्र है, इसलिए हम 100% दावे के साथ कह सकते हैं कि हमारा भारत का विजय प्राप्त होगा.
Many of these astrologers predicted that this would be a close match and India would go on to win.
Oh yes, that is the start New Zealand were looking for. It is the big fish as well.
But the truth is, India got stomped in that match and we lost. Are we keeping these people accountable? No. We have colleges teaching pseudoscience We have scammers preying on people's insecurities to make money. 70 lakhs a day. I mean, how long before you see an astrologer in your company boardroom or running for the MLA post? So please stop believing in useless pseudoscience, stay skeptical, and stay subscribed to AVTV. Thank you.